cinemas, and gotta tell you, Sybil Danning got to be one of my favorite 80s scream queens. I think she is absolutely hot. She's gorgeous, and she has done very much action, very much horror films, and very many badass roles. And let's check out her filmography. Let's start about her one of her first major roles, and that is Day of the Cobra. Italian film with Franco Nero. I have the Finnish VHS here, Cobra, and also the German Blu-ray. And yeah, this may not be the best crime films ever made, but it's an okay film. And Franco Nero has a great role here. And Sybil Danning has a pretty big role here. Was she some sort of prostitute here? But anyway, she's the femme fatale of this film. Don't remember whether she was nude in this film. I really should remember these things. But probably she wasn't nude in this film. This is a great release from this classic film. And yeah, okay, it's a VHS, so it's gotta be great also. Sybil Danning, did you know that actually she is an Austrian born female actress? Not Australian, but Austrian, Itävalta. She was born there, and in the year, let me check my notes. She was born in 1946, so that makes her 76 years old, and like I said, from Austria. And she was working as a cosmetics something. Danning was soon offered fashion shows and photo layouts, and she made her debut on German comedy film, something called Komm nur, meine Liebstes, Vögelein. I probably didn't do that great of a job pronouncing that name. Let's try it again. Komm nur, mein Liebstes, Vögelein. Einheimischer, did you understand what I said? And that film was made in 1968, and then in year 1978 Danning moved to Hollywood to further her career, and you could say that Battle Beyond Stars, that was her like a breakthrough in the B-movie world. This was hugely successful Roger Corman film that copies like Star Wars, and not necessarily that great, but yeah, it's a passable action adventure fantasy film. And yeah, after that Sybil Danning got noticed, and she got offered very many B action film roles and B horror film roles. Have anybody seen Vaarojen planeetta, Battle Beyond the Stars? I have. This has also music by James Horner, which actually got recycled in a bunch of other Roger Corman films. It's an incredible film, and Sybil Danning plays here this kind of galaxy and queen of the galaxies, and one of these bounty hunters that are hired to defend this one planet. And the plot is ripped directly from the Seven Samurais, and only think that this is set in the outer space. I could recommend this. I remember that I had Blu-ray somewhere, but I couldn't find it. But I only find out this classic Molo cover Warner Home Video big box clamshell VHS. Yeah, great stuff, man. Alright, yeah. I don't think is Jungle Warriors released. Is it even on DVD? I'm not sure. But here we have Viidakkosoturit, Jungle Warriors, on Magnum Video label, and this was released in the year 1984. And this has a funny sticker here. It says this is ongoing classification in the Finnish Board of Film Censorship. So far, the distribution is allowed. So some of the video entrepreneurs did those sticker things when the video law came to Finland. They, played some time with these stickers because that was bullshit. They never. There was no ongoing checkup because Finnish Board of Film Classifications banned this outright. This violent jungle action movie, which is also starring Sybil Danning and also the guy from Midnight Express. Who was his name? I always forget that. Paul Smith. Yeah, Paul Smith. And also John Vernon. Yeah. I think this is very, very entertaining little budget action film stars. It is starring female action heroes, but as far as I remember, Sybil was the bad guy in this film. I have seen this a couple of times, and this is also starring Woody Strode as this hitman who likes to kill people with bows and arrows. Lots of bloody shootings and people, getting cut with machetes and getting shot. So and women getting tortured with electrical shocks. So it's an entertaining. Not that special, but not anything special, but it's okay. And this could be something that Vinegar Syndrome would like to do. This would fit their output, because they actually did the Escape from the Devil's Island on 4K. That was pretty unexpected. But hey, it would be very awesome if they would do Jungle Warriors on 4K. Yeah, make it happen in Vinegar Syndrome. Okay, and Howling 2 is not. This is not. Howling 2 is not action film, but I think I need to feature this on this show, because you really can't talk about Sybil Danning unless you mention her role in Howling 2, My Sister is a Werewolf. Now, this is a sequel to Joe Dante's film directed by Philippe Mora, and it is starring Rep Brown. Yeah! He's screaming and shooting werewolf with a rifle. And also, can you freaking believe it? It is starring Christopher Lee. So, great cast in this film, and Sybil Danning is playing the werewolf bitch queen, and that is a role which suits her very well. And yeah, as you can see from the cover, Sybil has actually this dress in the film, and she is the menacing bad guy in this film. Yeah. And I have the Arrow Video Blu-ray disc set, which also includes the DVD version of the film. And for the fans of, if you're a fan of Howling and you're not a fan of bad movies, you probably want to skip this. But if you are a fan of bad movies, this, you gotta see this. It's funny as hell. And yeah, Sybil Danning, she is doing this nude scene. She's ripping her clothes off. And Philippe Mora was such a genius filmmaker that he edited, that on repeat during the end credits. Now, that's got to be one of the most watched end credits in any movie ever. I'm very sure about that, because this film repeats the nude scene, this ripping of clothes very many times during the end credits. And I have read from somewhere that Sybil Danning didn't appreciate that trick. And it is understandable. It's kind of like a very cheap shot, very exploitative shot. Okay, so then she did a film with Andy Sidaris. Andy Sidaris, a filmmaker from Hawaii, and he made these kind of tits and ass films in the 80s, very many of them, and probably his most well-known film is Hard Ticket to Hawaii with Ron Moss. That is an absolute blast film. If you want to see one movie from Hawaii or from Andy Sidaris, make sure you watch Hard Ticket to Hawaii. But Sybil Danning is not in that film, but he is in this film, and most certainly she is naked in that film. Because Andy Sidaris is famous for making these films with lots of female nudity. Can't really tell anything else about this film, because in my mind all these Andy Sidaris films, they kind of mix in one Andy Sidaris oozing gaping hole. So can't really tell you about this film, but I think it was an okay film, because yeah, just check it out. Check it out, this cover. Guy with a big gun with couple of gorgeous ladies on the same picture. It's gotta be good, right? It's got to be. Alright. But moving on. Reform School Girls. Not that long ago I watched that again from this brand new Vinegar Syndrome release, and I do have the cut Unimedia release of that film. And this is a woman in prison film, and not necessarily the best of its genre, but pretty good of its genre. Not that genre has very many good films in it, but yeah, this was okay. Lots of female nudity, but unfortunately not from Sybil, because Sybil in this film is playing the warden of this jail for women. Okay, finally we have L.A. Bounty, Sybil Danning and Wings Hauser. And get this, Sybil has kind of like this weird big bazooka rifle in there. And this is probably at least what I know, the only film that Sybil Danning is the main role. And she plays this bounty hunter who is trying to get the Wings Hauser. I love Wings Hauser. I gotta do some special episode on Wings Hauser. But she is hunting down Wings Hauser in the LA. And yeah, Sybil Danning plays a badass here, but I gotta tell you that I was somewhat disappointed in this film, because I was really looking forward to it. But I don't think that this director, who was he? Worth Keeter. He has done. Was he director of Kickboxer? I don't know. But Worth Keeter, he really don't know how to use Sybil Danning. I think, Sybil does this very low-key performance in this film, and not definitely her best roles. And it's a bit sad, because this is her starring role, so she could have really shined in this film. But no, I think this was a little bit a lackluster film. But nevertheless, if you like Wings Hauser, if you are like me, you like Sybil Danning and you like Wings Hauser, so you probably need to see this and tell me what you think about this film.